everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where any moment now we should be getting a pop-up that... There we go! An unspoiled rocky outcrop has appeared. Today it is time for the crafting and gathering of patch 2.3. Specifically, today we are going to be working on getting the second step of the relic tools for crafters and gatherers. A Realm Reborn was the only time they did relic tools until Shadowbringers, I believe. They didn't do any relic tools for Heavensward or Stormblood, from what I recall. So, fun! This will be our only relic tools for crafters and gatherers for a while. But we're going to be doing the second step. You may be asking, well, what was the first step? First step was actually just beating our job quest, our level 50 job quest. That just straight up gives you the first step of your relic tools. Alright, so to begin, we have Antumbral Rocks over here at Eastern Thanalin at an unspoiled location. Antumbral Rocks we need... I am seeing 30 on my list. So we're going to need to get as many as we possibly can. And let's see. This will be for our mining tool. I'll go over everything we specifically need once we have our gathering done. We are probably going to have to do... Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do a second cycle of gathering Antumbral Rocks. Which means the same will probably be true of the redolent logs. That's fine, we can do the crafting tools in between while we wait for the next spawn to come up. Speaking of, the botanist gathering item will be in about 10 minutes from this moment, so I guess I can go prepare my inventory to get working on the crafting tools. Okay, for the crafting supplies that we need to trade in for our relic crafting tools, it's going to do the same thing that we did previously with Master Crafting and such with Talon, where you need to craft an item and then trade it into Talon to get the gear we are looking for. Specifically, we're going to be creating the upgraded version of what we used before to trade for gear. For example, with the Goldsmith, we traded a Rose Gold Cog. Now we'd be trading a calibrated Rose Gold Cog. And to make these, we are going to need 2 Fieldcraft Demi Materia 3, which you can get from desynthesizing high-level crafting tools and supplies. So, like, any crafting tool you can make from Mastercraft, you could desynthesize those, especially with a higher level of Spirit Bond, and that can give you Fieldcraft Demi Materia 3. We need 2 Fieldcraft Demi Materia 3 for each, as well as 1 of the level 50 2-star item that you trade in for gear at lower levels. With that, you can then craft the higher level 50 triple star material that you then trade in for the crafting tools. But to go over specifically all of the supplies that we need for this crafting, we are going to need, assuming prioritizing blacksmith, because that's just how Teamcraft organizes the crystals, prioritizing blacksmith over armor. We are going to need 71 fire shards, 44 ice shards, 90 wind shards, 65 earth shards, 44 lightning shards, and 50 water shards. For crystals, we will need 12 fire crystals, 9 wind crystals, 6 earth crystals, and 3, I want to say lightning crystals? Yes, lightning crystals. Alright. For the timed, I guess let's just go area by area. Starting with, let's say, Lenosia. Eastern Lenosia, from timed mining nodes, we need 2 volcanic rock salt. And from timed botany nodes, we need 1 Zmail tomato. Upper Lenosia, we need 4 noble grapes from botany. In Outer Lenosia, if you have done the Kobold quest, you can trade the Kobold currency with the merchant at the Kobold tribe for 1 vitriol. You can alternatively get that from trading in Grand Company seals at your Grand Company. Okay, so the Fieldcraft Demi Materia 3, there is an alternate way to get it once you get to Heavensward through something called collectibles and scripts. We can't do that yet. The primary way to get the Fieldcraft Demi Materia 3 is either through desynthesizing gathering or crafting gear that is at a high level and high spirit bond, or by buying it off the market board. Similarly, we also need Mastercraft Demi Material, which is a much rarer drop from desynthesizing. For these, we're going to need 22 Fieldcraft Demi Materia 3 and 11 Mastercraft Demi Materia. I just went ahead and bought them off the market board. It's way more reliable than getting them out of desynth, just because that is so RNG dependent. The North Shroud, using Botany, we can get 1 Cinnamon. In the Central Shroud, we can get 30 Redolent Logs, which is for the Botany tool. In South Shroud, we can use Mining for 3 Silver Ore, 1 Effervescent Water, and 2 Black Alaman. One of those was Botany, the other 2 were Mining. Central Shroud, nope, I already read that off. In the East Shroud, we can get from my Time Botany node 2 Silkworm Cocoons. In Eastern Thanalan, we can get from Time nodes 6 Gold Ore and 30 Antumbral Rocks. And from hunting Myotragus, Billies, and Nannies, 4 All Goat Horns. In Central Thanalan, we can get from mining 1 Rock Salt and 2 Copper Ore. In Mordona, we can fight Hippogriffs for 2 Hippogriff Skins. And up in Kurtha Central Highlands, from Time Nodes, we can get 3 Spruce Logs from Botany, and 12 Darksteel Ore from Mining. And that should be everything you need for the gathering, the pre-crafting. From Carpenter, we need to craft 1 Spruce Lumber. From Blacksmith or Armorer, we need to craft 4 Darksteel Nuggets. From Armor, 1 Darksteel... From Blacksmith, 1 Darksteel Hook. From Armor, 1 Darksteel Wire. From Goldsmith, we need 1 Silver Ingot, 2 Rose Gold Nuggets, 1 Rose Gold Cog. From Leatherworker, we need 2 Hippogriff Leathers, 1 Griffin Skin Strap. From Weaver, we need 2 Silk Thread, which we can make from 1 single craft, 1 Silver Brocade. From Alchemist, we need 2 Horn Glue. That'll allow us to, as Carpenter, make 1 Spruce Plywood. As Alchemist again, we need to make 1 Spirit's Assault. Then as Culinarian, we need to make 1 Table Salt, 1 Dark Vinegar, 1 Spicy Tomato Relish. And once we've done all of those, we should be able to craft all 8 of the trading materials for the crafting tools, which is going to be for Carpenter, 1 Reinforced Spruce Plywood. For Blacksmith, 1 Balanced Dark Steel Hook. For Armor, 1 Reinforced Dark Steel Wire. For Goldsmith, 1 Calibrated Rose Gold Cog. For Leatherworker, 1 Water-Hardened Hippogriff Strap. From Weaver, 1 Intricate Silver Brocade. From Alchemist, 1 Concentrated Spirit's Assault. And from Culinarian, 1 Rich Tomato Relish. In addition to those, we need the 30 Redolent Logs and the 30 Antumbral Rocks, and that will allow us to get the gathering tools as well, though I need to wait for another, hour for those to spawn again so I can actually get the gathering tools. Alright, hello there. I was just in the middle of doing my post-commentary for the crafting section, and then the Redolent Logs popped up. They are available here in Central Shroud from this big tree over by where the Annals reside, near the entrance to East Shroud. We're going to need 30 of these in total. We are almost certainly going to need to come back here again, because we're just not going to be able to get enough, and that is fine. We got a good chunk of the way there. I'll be back for the last 8 soon. But unfortunately, it's 1 hour between spawns, so 1 whole day-night cycle, so it's gonna be a bit. Alright, at this point I have everything I need for the crafting tools. I am still working on getting the supplies for the gathering tools, so we'll get to the gathering tools in a little bit, once we have gathered all the supplies for that. So, for now, Talon, hello there. I need to get Supra Tools from you for Disciples of the Hand. Supra Tools are going to be our first tier, our second tier relic tools for crafters and gatherers. Alright, so let's see. For our Supra Tools, we need our base tool, which you get from the level 50 job quest. If you have lost yours, you can get it from a Calamity Salvager, which are found in any of the 3 major city-states. We also need 1 Mastercraft Demi Materia, as well as the upgraded version of the trade material. Once we have all of those, we can go ahead and hand them over. And get our tool. I believe they used to require the crafted item, like the balanced dark steel hook, be a high quality. I don't think it doesn't seem like they actually require that anymore, given that it's like, are you really sure about this? Anyways, let's go ahead and get all these trades done, which will also thankfully clear up my inventory just a little bit, which will be very nice. Since I'll have those upgraded material or upgraded trade materials out of my inventory. But yes, these Supra tools, I'll double check what exactly their item level is right now. Item level 75. Nice. That should be a bit better than what we have currently on the foragers and artisans tools. Though I think those are, yeah, item level 70, so it's not the biggest upgrade in the world. Actually, hold on. Okay, so that is 139.78 for the artisans tool. 139.78 versus, what is the upgraded? 149.83. So yeah, that is a pretty nice upgrade actually. It's certainly not something that's a massive, like, earth-shattering upgrade. It's not going to completely change up. It's not going to make things, like, significantly easier in any particular way. The requirements for your stats are still pretty strict, but it will definitely give us a boost. Plus 10 to craftsmanship, plus 5 to control. It is a boost towards making it easier so we don't need as much materia or as much luck. Yeah, look at that. Our craftsmanship is hitting 441 now. Alright, so I still need to get the rest of the redolent logs and the antumbral rocks. So I'll be back once those have spawned again so I can finish gathering them. And then we can get our gatherer's tools as well. Though we will hold off on the fishing rod until we do the fishing episode, which will be after this next time. Also, I did forget to do the minion roulette because it is the beginning of the week. Let's do the minion roulette and wind up cursor. Hey, stop pointing at me. It's rude. Alright then. I'll be back once I have finished gathering up the antumbral rocks and the redolent logs. Okay, I am back. I got all of the redolent logs and antumbral rocks that I needed. So now we can get our Supra tools, at the very least, for our miner and botanist. Botiner? Oh my god. Brain no work sometimes. Once we have those, all that's left is the fishing rod. But again, as I've been mentioning, we're going to save that for the fishing video, which is going to be next time. Okay, so to get our Supra tools for our gatherers, we actually need to first trade for a seal of mining, botany, or fishing, which will take 30 antumbral rocks or redolent logs or this particular fish, as well as 2 fieldcraft demi-materia 3. So that's why we need 6 for this, and then another, what was it, 22? Yeah, 22 for our, no, 16 for our crafters. It's 22 total. Because it's 2 fieldcraft demi-materia 3 for each Supra Relic we want. Okay, so let's go ahead and trade for the seal of mining. Oh, no, they're in this inventory. Trade for the seal of botany. I got way too many rocks and logs, but that's fine. I'll just dispose the extras. They're not really used for anything else, I don't think. Now we can trade for the Mammon Supra for our miner. Which will take the original relic tool, Mastercraft Demi-Materia, and the Seal of Gathering. Now that this is done, we can equip those new tools. Actually, I should have done a check on what the stat difference is. Let's do that. Where is our Rowney Supra? Okay, item comparison. That is plus 10 gathering, plus 6 perception. Okay, not bad. A small improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. Will make certain gathering easier. Though, it's... honestly, I don't think it's actually going to have much of an impact at all for a Realm Reborn tier gathering. I can't remember anything we need to gather that's actually going to require really high stats. This will make it easier to maybe get bonus items. For example, getting the Gatherer's Boon bonuses. But like, at least for Miner and Botanist, I don't think it really matters all that much. We're at a point where it no longer matters all that much. For Fisher, it's a lot more important for getting those high-end fish. Fishing is the endgame gathering, it seems, at the very least from what I've done. Okay, so now that we have done that, we've got our Supra Relics, at least for 2 of our gatherers and all of our crafters. Next up is doing any last-minute gathering for preparing for the rest of the crafting we intend to do today, which is going to be any of the level 50 3-star crafting, which is mostly going to be in the Master Recipes 1. But there's also a few stragglers over in the regular crafting as well, that are level 53 star. Before I do go out and do the last bits of gathering though, I want to point out what specifically we are going to be making and what we're going to be ignoring. So first off, in the Culinarian, there's a few items that don't actually give stat bonuses, you don't actually eat them as food. They're basically used for quests. The Rich Tomato Relish is used for getting your crafting tool. The Duck Broth and Tailor-Made Eel Pie are used for quests. We will craft any of those quest-related items when we get to those quests. So we're not going to be touching those today. Anything for food that actually gives us a food bonus, we're going to be crafting those because that's item level 90 food. That's really handy. We want that. For the rest of the things, I guess Alchemist is the other one that's really kind of special. We skipped over all the level 50 2-star weapons from Alchemist, which are all item level 70 weapons. Partially because getting their materials requires retainers who have combat jobs that are of a high level, and I focus my retainers on gathering jobs rather than combat. And also because we already had weapons that were far better than these. And also, Master Crafting doesn't have like a checklist or anything to say like, hey, you've done this craft, you've checked it off the list, congratulations, you're done. Master Crafting doesn't have that. That's the regular crafting logs that has that. I will, of course, be doing any of the Orchestrion roles, and I'm going to be making Corgiles because those are very handy. But most of the rest of Alchemist we won't be touching. It's either quest materials, or, in the case of these augmentations, I believe these were originally used... So remember how we got the level 90 armor from our item level 90 armor from our level 50 combat job quests? This was how you basically originally got those, if I remember correctly. As of Stormblood, you don't need these anymore because they just give you the item level 90 gear. But if I remember correctly, this is how you upgrade lower quality gear in order to get it to that item level 90 set that we just get for free now. So we're not going to be touching these. These are not worthwhile for us. What else? Not touching the inks. I don't know what they're actually used for. They might be used for higher level crafts. We'll get to that when we get to that. I'm not actually sure. I have not found a use for these, so I'm not too worried about it. What else? So other than that, there's some item level 90 armor. We'll be skipping it because we already have far better than that. There is some glamour gear that I will be crafting. I will be crafting anything that's glamour gear. And there's a bunch of tools, I believe, for... Yeah, there's tools for our crafters and gatherers that are actually upgrades for our item level 70 secondary tools. Because right now we have item level 55 secondary tools, so we are going to be crafting those upgrades as well. Basically anything else, I hope that gives a rough idea of what we are and are not going to be crafting. If it's an actual gear upgrade, if it's glamour gear, or if it's a collectible, or if it's actually functional food. That's what we're going to be crafting. I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm just going to skip over it in order to save time, and also because my inventory is full, and also because my retainers also have all full inventories, so that I don't have the room to prepare for all the recipes. And also, like I said, it's not really worthwhile. We're already over leveled. We don't need the experience. We don't need the items. You're probably not going to need those same items, so let's just skip over it. So, let's get started with any last-minute gathering of new supplies so we can get the crafting done. Alright, first off, at Upper Lenosia's Camp Bronze Lake, as a botanist, we're going to be heading just south. And over here, we can grab an item. What is the spawn time? I want to say like 5 a.m. to 9? No, way longer than 9 a.m. Eorzean. Alright, I'll double check in a moment, but we've got one blood orange we need to get from here. We will grab extra so we have them, of course. For any potential future recipes, but we only need the one. And let's check. What does the gathering log say about their availability? 7 to 10 Eorzean time. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Looks like something new just popped up, and that's going to be taking us to Middle Lenosia. Oh, I hope my inventory doesn't fill up. Oh, my inventory is totally going to fill up, isn't it? Oh, no. Oh, no, we'll figure it out. Okay, for this one, it's Botanist again. This one is from 9 a.m. Eorzean time to... that looks like 1 p.m. Teamcraft isn't listing the actual times of day on my on the alarm clocks it has. It's just listing, is it available and for how long? And if it's not available, how long until it is? Handy, but I would also like to know the exact in-game times. I'm going to assume 9 to 1, just judging from the times it's listing. Alright, here we get apricots. We need 2 apricots. And then I will be back once the next item has spawned. Alright, the next thing we need comes from Central Shroud. It spawns at 9 a.m. Eorzean time. Oh my god, 10 a.m. Eorzean time. I've been looking at the local time instead of the Eorzean time. I'm foolish. I added in the server time to help with a certain thing. Don't worry about it. And my muscle memory has me used to looking in the second spot, or what is currently the middle spot for the current Eorzean time. Hooray, muscle memory. It's bad. Okay, so let's see. Cypress log, 10 a.m. Eorzean time, probably to 1 p.m. I think it's 3-hour spawns. I checked. The apricot is available from 9 a.m. to noon Eorzean time. Okay, Cypress log, we need 7 of these. A bit more than the other materials so far, but fair enough. Alright, next up on the list is going to be a while, actually. Alright, we're back. We are here in the East Shroud of the Hawthorne Hut, and the next one should be spawning any moment now from 5 p.m. to, I want to say, 8 p.m. Eorzean time. Come on, give me the pop-up so I know where it's at. I believe, yes, it's going to be down to the southeast. Actually, I was thinking northeast, but fair enough. Alright, over here, we are going to need just one of this. Down here in this corner, over by, what is this, Castrum Oriens? Yes. We need 1 rosemary. I'll grab as many as I can while I'm here, just since it is a time node, and we may need more in the future. Alright, the next one is available in about 2 minutes real time. Alright, the next one is over here in Lower Lenosia at about 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eorzean time. Gonna be just down here in this little cave, just outside the entrance to the Limsa Lominsa decks. Okay, here we are going to need to get just one raw sapphire. There's other things here we can grab. We're gonna just get the raw sapphires. And just need one of them. Alright, next thing we need will be available in about 20 minutes real time, so I'll be back in a little while. Alright, we are back. The last 4 new bits of material we need to gather are about to appear in rapid succession, so we gotta go a little bit fast. They'll all pop up very close together within the next 5 minutes. We have plenty of time, that's a lot popping up at once. Alright, at about 2 a.m. Eorzean time around here. Oh, I need to switch over to Botanist. There's my issue. There it is, right up here, near Hake Manor, to the northeast of Hake Manor. We've got Shroud Tea Leaves. And it looks like we need 5 total. Okay. Let's grab them, and then move on to our next destination, which should be in the North Shroud. Alright, next up over here in North Shroud, to the southwest of Fallgord Float. Looks like we gotta head all the way down to ground level so we can find, at 3 a.m. Eorzean time, Scarlet Sap. We need 3 total. Next thing we need pops up also at 3 a.m. Eorzean time over in North Thandolin, it looks like. So we're gonna finish up you and then make our way to North Thandolin. Looks like Cerulean Processing Plant is the closest teleport destination. And we are going to want to be Miner for this one and then the last thing we're gonna need. Okay, let's see. Looks like it's just outside the Cerulean Processing Plant. We have Ferberite, of which we need 8 total. For some reason it says I guess I already have 3. Very curious how that happened, but we need 8 in total. Alright, last thing we need should be popping up in a minute and a half. Down in Central Thandolin. Alright, the last thing we need to get from Gathering is going to be to the northeast of Blackbrush Station in Central Thandolin. We need to head down into the refugee camp area, and at 4 a.m. Eorzean time... Where are you at? There you are, I went right past it. Over here we need to grab ourselves 1 native gold. Okay then, now that we have all of our materials, I'll meet you back in Mordona and we will get our crafting underway. Alright. I'm going ahead and doing this as post-commentary, as I have tended to do recently, just because it is much easier on the crafting. But let's go over what materials we will need for our patch 2.3 craft, now that we have finished up getting our relic tools upgraded. And we can actually focus on the level 50 3-star crafts. I went over earlier what exactly we're going to be crafting, so I'm not going to worry about reviewing that again. So let's just get started with the crystals we need. First off, we need, starting with crystals, 26 fire shards, 109 wind shards, 109 lightning shards, 20 water shards, 18 fire crystals, 3 ice crystals, 100 wind crystals, 12 earth crystals, 76 lightning crystals, and 77 water crystals, 48 fire clusters, 7 ice clusters, 46 wind clusters, 34 earth clusters, 38 lightning clusters, and 14 water clusters. Alright, next up we're going to go on to the Gathering, starting out with Lenosia. Starting out with Eastern Lenosia. From Timed Mining, we need 1 Volcanic Rock Salt. From Timed Botany, we need 2 Honey Lemon. From fishing, we need 3 silver sharks and 1 megalodon. From botany, regular botany, we need 1 nutmeg. And from fighting Opkalus, we need 1 Opkalu egg. Next up, in Upper Lenosia, from time botany, we need 1 blood orange. And from fishing, we need 1 giant catfish. Next up, in Outer Lenosia. We could get this either from Outer Lenosia or from the Grand Company vendors. But if you have done the Kobold Tribe quest and have the Kobold vendor unlocked, and in particular have the Kobold Tribe currency, we can get 6 vitriol from the Kobold Tribe vendor. If you can't get it from the Kobold Tribe vendor, you can also get it from your Grand Company for Grand Company seals, but we need 6 vitriol. Next up, in Lower Lenosia, we need from timed mining 1 raw sapphire, from regular botany 1 Lenosian orange, 4 kukuru beans, 4 cinderfoot olives. Next up, from Middle Lenosia, from timed botany, we need 2 apricot. From regular botany, 4 sunset wheat and 1 straw. Next up, in Western Lenosia, from time botany, we need 1 Lenosian leek. Anything else in Lenosia? Well, Teamcraft moved all the Lenosia entries somewhere else on the list, so I'm going to assume I got them all because I'm not seeing them otherwise. Alright, next up, while we are... just to make my list a little bit cleaner, from any of the main city-states, from the Tradecraft vendor, we can buy 1 sour red and 4 buffalo milk. Next up is something that you can normally get from the script exchange, which is something that we don't unlock until Heavensward. So I'm not there yet. I believe this craft was retroactively added to A Realm Reborn's post-game crafting. It probably should have been saved for Heavensward, since that is when script exchange actually unlocks. But if you have access to crafting script, you can get this from the script exchange. Otherwise, I got it off the market board. We need 7 New World macrame. Okay, next up on my list. Still not seeing Lenosia on the list. Okay, let's move on to the Shroud. In the East Shroud, from Time Botany, we need 1 Trillium, 22 Silkworm Cocoons, and 1 Rosemary. From regular botany, we need 1 Rosewood Branch. From Central Shroud, we need from Time Botany 5 Shroud Leaves and 7 Cypress Logs. From regular botany, 1 Latex, 8 Crow Feathers, 3 Cotton Bolls. From South Shroud, we need mining for 11 Effervescent Water and 4 Black Element. And we can fight the Little Columns in the tunnel connecting Quarry Mill to Earth's Fount to the east. Those columns will give us 7 Spoken Blood. I believe next up is going to be North Shroud. In North Shroud, we can do Time Botany for 3 Scarlet Sap, regular Botany for 1 Maple Sap, and if you do not have honey from bees that you can find over just outside of Ul'dah in Central Thanalan, if you don't have honey from those, you can get 3 Beehive Chips from Botany in North Shroud. Next up, Ixalt Quest. The Ixalt tribe, if you have progressed far enough and you have access to their currency, they have a ton of crafting supplies. All of these supplies I'm about to list, if you don't have access to them through the Ixali vendor, you can get them from your Grand Company's vendor. So either or, Grand Company seals, or Ixali Oak Knots with the Ixali vendor. Up to you. But we need, from the Ixal, or from your Grand Company, 2 Star Anise, 8 Cheelite, 5 Saurian Skin, 1 Royal Kukuru Bean, 1 Razik Sand, 60 Quick Hardening Sealant. I said 60, right? 60 Quick Hardening Sealant, 61 Potash, 3 Petrified Logs, 9 Peacock Ore, 63 Minium, 63 Hardened Sap, 10 Filtered Water, 1 Emery, 2 Dalamud Popotos, 18 Coke, 6 Cashmere Fleece, 1 Canard Breast, and 9 Animal Fat. Next up, let's go over something that you can only get from your Grand Company vendor. You can't get from tribe vendors. 4 Grand Company seals from your Grand Company. You can get 2 Eagle Feathers. Okay, next up, Kurthus. Kurthus Central Highlands. We need Time Botany for 49 spruce logs, Timed Mining for 18 dark steel ore, and 1 astral rock. Next up, we need regular Botany for 1 mirror apple, and we need to fight ornery Caracoles for 8 fleece. Next up is Mordona, where we can fight hippogriffs over at the Singing Shards for 4 hippogriff skins. Next up is going to take us to Thanalin, where I believe the rest of the things we need will be found. Central Thanalin, if you don't want to do botany for your honey, for your beehive chips, you can get honey from a bee in this area. They are found just outside of Ul'dah in Central Thanalin. From timed mining, we need 1 native gold. From regular mining, 1 rock salt, 3 copper ore, and regular botany for 1 black pepper. Next up in Eastern Thanalin, timed mining for 21 gold sand and 10 gold ore. Regular botany for 2 popotos and 1 pearl ginger. And then fighting Myotrachus billies and nannies for 2 old goat horns. Next up, let's do Southern Thanalin, where regular botany can get us 1 desert saffron and 1 aloe. Central Thanalin, already did that. That's just trying to get me to get the honey again. Let's see, Northern Thanalin, time mining for 8 ferberite. And then regular mining for 12 cobalt ore and 2 basilisk eggs. Western Thanalin, we can do fishing for 1 Heralder haddock, 3 hammerhead sharks, and then mining for 2 iron ore and botany for 1 Garlean garlic. Okay, that is all the gathering. Next up, let's go on to things you get from other sources other than gathering or fighting enemies in the field. This is primarily going to be things from gardening, which you do at player housing. If you don't have access to gardening via player housing, you will have to get these off the market board. The other things in this category are things from extreme trials, and then 1 thing for the treasure hunt. Alright, from gardening, we can get 1 Nemea lily, and again, if you don't have access to gardening, get it off the market board. 1 Nemea lily, 3 jute, 1 Halone gerbera, 2 glaze nuts, 1 broom bush, and 1 Azama rose. From Extreme Trials, 1 Leviathan's Barb from Leviathan Extreme. Also from Leviathan Extreme is Fated Copy of Wreck to the Seaman, we just need 1. And Fated Copy of Through the Maelstrom, we just need 1. From Ramuh Extreme, which I don't actually have access to quite yet, we'll be doing it later in this patch, so I don't have this yet, I will get to it later in this patch, and I'll take care of it on my own time. But 1 Levin Orb from Ramuh Extreme. From Titan Extreme, 1 Fated Copy of Under the Weight. From Ultima Extreme, also known as The Minstrel's Ballad, Ultima's Bane, 1 Fated Copy of The Maker's Ruin. From Ifrit Extreme, 1 Fated Copy of Primal Judgment. From Good King Magomag Extreme, 1 Fated Copy of Good King Magomag the 12th. And from Garuda Extreme, 1 Fated Copy of Fallen Angel. And finally, from Treasure Hunting, very, very rare, or specifically from Time-Worn Pisces Skin maps, or from Unhidden Leather maps, or what I did, just get it off the market board where it's very expensive, but far easier than treasure maps, 6 dress material. Alright, next up is pre-crafts. So, let's get started. Some of these are going to be 3-star crafts from our various classes, and then the rest are just going to be crafting throughout. Any 3-star crafts will be new to us, so let's just go through. Starting out with Carpenter, we need 3 Ancient Lumbers, which is a 3-star craft, 7 Blank Grade 2 Orchestrion Rolls, which is a 3-star craft. I should have made a note. Every 3-star craft will either be a Mastercraft, or it will be in your regular crafting log. Check both. It'll either be Mastercraft 1 or regular crafting log in the level 50 category. But these are that's for level 50, 3-star crafts. Next up is 14 Spruce Lumber, which is 1 star. 7 Treated Spruce Lumber, which is 2 star. From Blacksmith, we need Blacksmith or Armor, we need 2 Cobalt Ingots, 1 Cobalt Rivets, 6 Dark Steel Nuggets, which is a 1-star craft, 2 Dark Steel Ingots, which is a 2-star craft. From Blacksmith specifically, 8 Wolfram Ingots, which is 3-star. From Armor, 1-star craft of 1 Dark Steel Plate. From Goldsmith, 2 Basilisk Whetstones, a 3-star craft of 1 Gold Ingot, a 1-star craft of 3 rose gold nuggets, a 2-star craft of 1 rose gold ingot, a 3-star craft of 1 sapphire. From Leatherworker, a 1-star craft of 4 hippogriff leather, a 2-star craft of 1 hard hippogriff leather, a 3-star craft of 5 saurian leather. From Weaver, 1 craft of cotton yarn to get 2 total, 1 undyed cotton cloth, 4 crafts of woolen yarn to get 8 total, a 1-star craft of 1 jute yarn, a 1-star craft of 21 silk thread from 11 crafts, so crafted 11 times to get 21 or 22 total. A 2-star craft of 6 Vanya silk. From Alchemist, 1 rubber, 1 horn glue, 3 shark oil, a 2-star craft of diluted vitriol once to get you 6 total, a going back to Weaver because that enables us for a 3-star craft of 6 cashmere cloth. Back to Alchemist, a 1-star craft of 7 enchanted gold ink, a 2-star craft of 7 enchanted rose gold ink. On to Culinarian, we have 1 maple syrup, 1 table salt, 1 craft of maple sugar for 2 total, 1 sweet cream, 1 craft of smooth butter for 2 total, 1 craft of sunset wheat flour for 2 total, 1 kukuru butter, 1 kukuru powder, 1 olive oil, 1 bubble chocolate, and 1 honey, if you did not get it from the bees directly. Once we have all of that, we can go through and do all of our actual proper crafting of the things that we are aiming to make. For that, these are basically all going to be 3-star crafts, so check either Mastercraft 1 or the end of your level 50 craftings. And that is going to be for Carpenter, 1 magic broom, 1 artisan spinning wheel, 1 artisan's grinding wheel. For Blacksmith, 1 artisan's claw hammer, 1 artisan's file, 1 artisan's pliers, 1 artisan's awl, 1 artisan's mortar, 1 artisan's culinary knife, 1 forager's sledgehammer, 1 forager's scythe. From Armorer, 1 title barding. From Leatherworker, I'm skipping over this because I can't do it quite yet, but I will catch up by the end of the patch. 1 Levin barding. That is from Leatherworker. New World armlets, we need 1. 1 New World moccasins. From Weaver, 1 spring dress shoes, 1 coronal wristband, 1 plain long skirt, 1 spring dress, 1 spring skirt, 1 cloche, 1 spring straw hat, 1 plush cushion, 1 New World hose, 1 New World headdress, 1 New World jacket. From Alchemist, 1 bunch of orchestrion rolls, 1 each for Good King Magamang XII, The Maker's Ruin, Primal Judgment, Fallen Angel, Under the Weight, Wreck to the Seaman, Through the Maelstrom, and then also from Alchemist, 1 Cordial. I will likely be making a lot of these on my own time because they are very handy for gatherers rather, which makes them useful for crafters as well. And then for Culinarian, 1 steamed catfish, 1 popoto pancakes, 1 roast canard, 1 sacerdote, 1 shark fin soup, and 1 haddock dip. And that is all the crafting. I'll meet you back when we are done with that. Alright, now that I have finished up with the crafting, I went ahead and updated all of my crafter's gear. Item level 62, item level 56 for our gatherers. We'll get an upgrade for Fisher in time once we get that Fisher relic tool, which will be in the fishing episode next time. Anyways, before we finish off for today, now that we've done all the crafting, I want to go ahead and make sure we've registered all of our new collectibles that we got. Title Barding, the Plush Cushion Minion, the Magic Broom Minion, and then our 7 new Orchestrion rolls. Feels good to get a big batch of them like this. Oh, and we got an achievement, the Leader of the Band 4. We'll have to check that out in just a moment. Alright, Leader of the Band 4, what's that gonna give us? Nothing. Well, other than the achievement itself. Alright, marked off that I got that. And then let's finish off by checking out the descriptions on the minions. Alright, Plush Cushion. Preferring to take a more hands-on approach with his latest project, Redolent Rose of the Weavers Guild personally researched the resilience and contour of over 40 buttocks in order to create a cushion so light and fluffy, even the clouds would darken with envy. Bumbling one spends all day sleeping on paper sack pillow, yes? From Onxio. And then Magic Broom, while you may not hear many of the realm's mages admit it, magicking a household broom to become a self-propelled sweeping servitor, albeit one which does very little actual cleaning, is far more complicated than it sounds, requiring no fewer than 7 cants of binding. Oh dear. A lancer who fears to attack is not but a man holding a pole, from Yuane. Alright, there's our quotes. And with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, patch 2.3 fishing. I'll see everyone next time for that, because we've got a lot to do, I think.